The Galactic Military Academy's orientation hall buzzed with a symphony of clicks, trills, and harmonic frequencies as representatives from 47 species gathered for the annual war games. Commander Zethkar of the Vorthan Empire adjusted his ceremonial combat plumes, sneering at the modest human delegation in the corner. "Look at them," he chittered to his aide, mandibles clicking in amusement. The humans brought, what do they call them? Pets? Indeed, the 12 human cadets had arrived with an assortment of creatures in specialized carriers. Dogs of various breeds, a few cats, even what appeared to be a ferret. The other species whispered among themselves. The logical Kelrani found it inefficient. The warrior Brutak deemed it weakness. And the hive-minded Zephyrians simply couldn't comprehend the concept of non-productive companionship. Admiral Kester, the Academy's Brutak commandant, stood at the podium, his forearms crossed in disapproval. "The war games will test your species' military doctrine, tactical innovation, and combat effectiveness. Each delegation will defend a fortified position, while simultaneously attempting to breach enemy lines." His voice boomed through the translators. "Victory belongs to the last faction standing." The rules were simple: no lethal weapons, neural disruptors only. Each team would be given identical resources and 12 hours to prepare their defenses in the sprawling underground complex that mimicked real battlefield conditions. As the delegations dispersed to their assigned sectors, the mockery continued. The sleek Vorthans activated their quantum shields and gravity manipulators. The Kelrani deployed their mathematical precision in creating overlapping fields of fire. The Brutak simply built bigger walls and bigger guns. The humans? They unpacked their gear quietly, their pets remaining in their carriers. Captain Sarah Chen, the human team leader, ignored the snickers from passing aliens as she briefed her squad. "Remember, we're not here to prove anything to them. We're here to win." The preparation phase began, and surveillance drones captured every delegation's activities for the Academy's Strategic Analysis Division. The footage showed the expected patterns: technological supremacy, brute force, calculated mathematics. But in the human sector, something different was happening. The humans weren't just building defenses, they were creating relationships. Each soldier worked alongside their animal companion, not as master and pet but as partners. The German shepherds learned the layout of the complex with their handlers. The cats prowled the ventilation systems, their night vision mapping every duct and passage. Even the ferret proved invaluable, its flexible body navigating spaces too small for any sentient species. "Fascinating," murmured Dr. Villani, the Academy's chief xenopsychologist, as she reviewed the feeds. "They're not treating these creatures as tools or weapons. It's collaborative." The war games commenced at dawn. For the first 6 hours, conventional tactics dominated. The Vorthan's shields deflected most attacks while their gravity weapons disabled enemy positions. The Brutak charged through defenses with overwhelming force. The Kelrani calculated perfect ambush points and executed flawless flanking maneuvers. By midday, 11 species had been eliminated. 5 remained: Vorthans, Brutak, Kelrani, Zephyrians, and the humans. Then the cages opened. It started with a whistle, a simple human signal that meant nothing to alien translators. Suddenly, the sterile battlefield transformed into something primordial. Dogs bounded through the complex, not attacking, but gathering intelligence. Their keen senses detected hidden positions, tracked enemy movements, and identified weak points in defenses that thermal sensors missed. The cats became ghosts in the ventilation systems, their silent paws carrying micro-cameras and disruption devices to places no military engineer had anticipated. They moved like liquid shadow, appearing and disappearing at will, but it was the partnership that truly stunned the observers. When Corporal Martinez's golden retriever detected Vorthan soldiers in an ambush position, the dog didn't attack. It communicated. A series of subtle body language cues that Martinez had learned to read like text. The Vorthans found themselves flanked by an enemy who had somehow anticipated their every move. The ferret proved to be the ultimate infiltrator. Specialist Rodriguez guided it through impossibly narrow passages to disable power cores and communication arrays. The Kelrani's mathematical perfection meant nothing when their instruments failed at critical moments. "This is impossible," Admiral Kessitar growled, watching the tactical display. "They're using primitive creatures to outmaneuver our most advanced civilizations." The Zephyrians, with their hive mind, were perhaps the most disturbed. They couldn't comprehend how the humans achieved such perfect coordination with non-sentient beings. Their collective consciousness, their greatest strength, became a liability when faced with unpredictable individual creativity. As evening fell, only two factions remained, the Vorthons and the humans. Commander Zethkar activated his personal shields and advanced on the human position, confident that superior technology would prevail. His squad moved in perfect formation, quantum disruptors charged and ready. They never saw the attack coming. It wasn't the humans who struck first, it was their partners. The dogs had been positioned throughout the complex, creating a three-dimensional awareness network that no electronic system could match. When the Vorthons moved, every human knew instantly not just where they were, but where they were going. The cats disabled the Vorthons' backup power systems from within the walls. The ferrets severed critical communication lines. And the humans? They struck with perfect timing, not as individuals, but as a pack. Commander Zethkar found himself surrounded, his technology useless, his squad scattered and confused. As the neural disruptor beams ended the exercise, he stared at the golden retriever sitting calmly beside Captain Chen, tail wagging. In the after-action briefing, the Academy's analysts struggled to explain what they had witnessed. The humans hadn't won through superior technology, overwhelming force, or mathematical precision. They had won through something the galaxy's military minds hadn't considered: the power of interspecies cooperation. "Your pets," Admiral Kestar said slowly. "They're not pets at all." Captain Chen smiled, scratching behind her dog's ears. "No, sir. They're family. And family watches out for each other." The room fell silent as the implication sank in. In a galaxy where species fought for dominance, where alliances were strategic and temporary, humans had formed bonds that transcended logic, efficiency, or evolutionary advantage. Dr. Vellani's final report would later become required reading at military academies across the galaxy. The humans have weaponized love itself, not as a tool of war, but as a foundation for victory. They don't conquer, they befriend, and that perhaps makes them the most dangerous species of all. The Academy never laughed at human pets again.